Hello everyone, welcome back to Floor Reverie, Ace Attorney! It's me, Ace Attorney, Floor Reverie, but there is no game right now, so give me a second while I capture the game. Oh right, yeah, I was testing Skies of Arcadia and making sure that was working, because that's happening soon, chat. In 1 week, when we finish this, 3 more streams of this, and we'll be in a new adventure, an RPG. We'll be saying goodbye to the world of visual novels, and entering the world of the Skies of Arcadia, or as I'm calling it, Skies of Thralia, because I want to give it a unique name. But chat, last time on Ace Attorney, we figured out what happened in the evidence room. We found out that Jake Marshall, who had been involved in the SL9 incident with his brother being killed by a serial killer called Joe Dark, he did not want the case to just be left in the dust and never solved. So, he headed towards the evidence room, impersonating, going in there as Bruce Goodman, having stolen his ID card. He went towards the locker and found it to be empty. While he was in there, a camera found him being attacked by... Well, Meekins went in there too and found out that he shouldn't have been in there, and they both had a scuffle. Meekins was knocked out, there was blood everywhere, and then we found out that Jake Marshall was involved in hitting him, at the very least. There were other stuff in this chat that seemed a bit strange. We believe we have solved the evidence room murder, but we have not, because all that blood that was in that room, it could not have come from the superficial cut that was made on Meekins' hand. No. It had to be from something else that had occurred in that room prior to Jake Marshall trying to take the evidence from Bruce Goodman's locker of the SL9 incident. We know that the evidence was not in there when Jake Marshall came there, and we also know that he couldn't have accessed the locker because it required a fingerprint to be scanned. Also, keeping the locker open was a glove, which is the reason why he was able to open it. So, with that in mind, we are investigating further this SL9 incident, the incident involving Joe Dark and the death of Jake Marshall's brother, who he believes was not killed by Joe Dark, but by something else. Perhaps to hide the fabricated evidence created by Alana Skye that was then used by Miles Edgeworth, who I believe has been framed for it, which sucks. So we're going to get into this now, chat. We're going to be continuing our investigation and finding out exactly what is going on in the world of Ace Attorney. If the controller decides to work. There we go. Oh yes, my gavel. I won't need my gavel today because we're not going to be in the courtroom. Oh, that's a sad thought. I'm not going to need my gavel. Wright & Co. Law officers. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Yeah, but did you involve killing someone, maybe? I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. I mean, again, like, they probably have to call it that because it will be harder to find in the computer. I don't think everyone's heard about these killings but me. To be fair, Phoenix, you were living, like, under a brick, like, before this game began. You know nothing. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night prosecutor Joe Marshall was murdered... Oh, not Joe Marshall. Neil Marshall was murdered. Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. Oh. So he wasn't the intended subject then, I guess. So that means you.
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming. Or you did because you read the report, Phoenix. That's crazy! Tell me more!
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly...
You didn't even know about simple case law on your first ever case, Phoenix. No wonder you know. Yeah, exactly. Like, he doesn't know anything. He knows jack shit.
Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark. He seems terrifying.
It seemed like he was running from someone.
He pulled out a knife and... Wait, you seemed like he was running from someone?
I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant.
It was all very theatrical.
When I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture?
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why Lana... Why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so bad.
I mean, yeah, he was a serial killer. He was doing a bunch of bad shit. I'd want to get that guilty verdict too.
Lana forged the evidence. Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything.
Yeah, I feel like he was being used again.
He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true. Even though he may have... Okay, well that makes more sense then. He's never forged evidence before, and this is explaining why. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. Yeah, well, it wasn't his fault though. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Yeah, but just for forging evidence? Like, just to get a guilty verdict, I feel like you'd be happy about that, even if it was, like, a bit scummy that you forged the evidence. Why? What else does she feel guilty about? I feel like you might know something about what happened to, Neil. Permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Yeah, that sucks. Makes sense why she's so scared of it.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out.
No!
When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much, yeah. Although I will say Lana looked more angry there than sad, implying again that she might have been involved in this, and by a cruel twist of fate, Emma was somehow involved with it. Maybe Joe Dark found out, which is why he ran over here to go kill her.
I couldn't but bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. Drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Yeah. Not to mention how scared she must have been.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. I mean, she always says about it being scientifically accurate. She wants the information to be as accurate as possible. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Yeah, why was he running towards you? And why was Neil there? There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it?
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? I mean, you just be like, yeah, right, so your name's Joe Dark? I mean, you sound like a serial killer and look like a serial killer. I think I'm just going to, you know, give you a guilty verdict anyway, why not?
This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview, and
yeah, that is incredibly suspicious.
And fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Why wouldn't he just go to the elevator? Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor. Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective.
Oh.
She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Yeah, that's going to make Angel Star and Jake Marshall probably more annoyed by that because they got demoted while she got promoted. Lana used to be a detective? Better have another talk with her. I mean, we can have a look at the actual evidence for this, can't we? Yeah, executive investigators Lana Sky. I thought by that it just meant she was a prosecutor, but no, she was a detective. So that means Edgeworth was the prosecutor during that case. So, witness and detective. But what did she witness? I guess she witnessed the aftermath of what occurred there, right? But she was there. Right, we need to squeeze you, Lana, because you are still hiding stuff from us. Hi. Lana.
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Yeah, because you're not telling me everything. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul.
Why should we? Okay, I mean, that also makes you a criminal.
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana. Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I mean, it kind of makes sense, to be fair, that someone might go from being a detective to a prosecutor. I mean, we're being a detective most of the time in the investigation period, so we have the skills required to, you know, be in both positions, I feel.
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
Tell me everything! A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Well, I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it?
I kind of feel like he should be in the right. I know he cut, like, Meekin's hand, but, like, there's obviously foul play going on here.
I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Lana, or Emma. At the trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder to the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said.
And don't, like, you know, like, jump around a suspect, because I think that's what you did last time. You are jumping around the actual truth.
About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife.
Go on. Don't go around it, just tell us the straight truth. Go on.
Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me. Well, I mean, there's a camera here, I guess. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. Perhaps she needs a little bit of luminol fluid to make her tell me the truth. I can't use it, fuck's sake. Oh, I wanted to use the luminol fluid.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. He was amazing.
Okay, you changed quick. you seemed really sad before, but now you seem fine.
They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together,
right? Chief Gant?
He was a deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes.
Let me guess, was he also promoted back then as well?
Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
I mean, that gives motive. He gets to be chief of police because he forged evidence, and that would explain him wanting to do that. And perhaps that would have led to either Emma's death, or in this case, Neil's. Maybe Neil's the only reason that Emma didn't die, and Neil died in her place.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Damon sounds a lot like Demon, don't you think? Yeah, I was gonna mention that as well. Considering also in Japanese, the phrase used to describe evil spirits is daemon, so D-A-E. So you can say that daemon is the same as demon. But yes, welcome in, KC Silver. This is my first time playing this game. I'm looking forward to doing this. It's a massive case. This case is the biggest one in the game by far, and it's been great so far. We're basically doing the investigation period today, and then we'll probably finish off the court case next week, considering how long these are taking to get through. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Yeah, this is definitely the longest case in the first game. I've heard that there's a longer case in like one of the later Ace Attorney games, but this is the longest one I'm probably going to be doing for a while. Gant's help in the SR9 case was crucial to his resolution, was it now?
After that, he became... Yeah, okay. As I thought. So, I'm going to add that to my notes. Was promoted after SL9. Almost like you got a little reward for doing that. I don't think Lana's in the wrong here. I think Lana was used by Gant. I generally think that the Gant might be the killer. Or the one who's most guilty here, at the very least. He might have had help from Angel Star. And maybe also Jake Marshall. But I feel like Jake just wants justice for his brother. I don't think he is involved in the actual murder of Bruce Goodman. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Well, then again, like, why did they give us the videotape? If Damon wants, you know, this whole thing to be laid to rest for some reason, he wants some end goal here involving getting Lana framed. So we know Lana's not evil in this case, because she's the one, she's the victim here of whatever's going on in this current situation. But we were given the videotape of the evidence room. It was panning left and right, and eventually we were able to work out that was Jake Marshall. But what was the intent of giving us that videotape in the first place? Because Damon very easily could have just gotten rid of it. Like, there's no reason why he would have given us that. Like, the actual reason is so we can pin it all back onto Lana, because we'll find out it has nothing to do with the evidence room. Which could imply to me that entire situation was forged or faked, because Meekins brought the thing into the locker room, that the blue thing, the blue mascot character. If Jake Marshall was asked by Damon to go into there and pretend he was taking out Goodman's evidence, well, he said there was nothing in there. That could also just be like a defense so that he's not suspected. I don't know. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detective investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. We even had the same office. We had a team of the best detectives on the force. And we demoted all of them. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Yeah, the whole series of Ace Attorney's Court own all 4 collections available on Steam. Means both the first and second trilogy, Investigations with 2 parts, which takes place between the 2 trilogies, and Great Ace Attorney 1, that's way into the past. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting through them. Well, probably this year, I would like to get through the first trilogy, but we don't know. Because after I do this, I'm going to be moving on to Skies of Arcadia, which will be the next playthrough. But we'll try and get through the both of them. But the good thing is this year I'm not doing Persona 5, so I'm going to have more time to play games, chat, because I'm not going to be spending half of the year playing one single thing. Just opening my window, chat, to get some air into here. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him... Yeah, obviously, look at this man. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Look here, Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me, outside of Joe or Neil. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. So, he ran out, Neil ran after him and was killed. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. Well, also a part of that then is whatever they told Joe Dark, only Damon knows about it now, because Neil died and Dark was executed. So whatever he said in that investigation room, which could have triggered him to go and fight, go and attack Emma. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add that to the notes. Another murder occurred at 15. No, we know it's not another murder now. So, SL9 incident was in the interrogation room with Joe Dark before Emma's attempted murder. He's the only one who could have known what happened there. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. Welcome in, Maelstrom. Maelstrom! Damon is so the bad guy. They're not doing a good job of hiding it. Because Casey, who just came in, also brought up a good point, and I was thinking about as well, that his name is Damon. Now, if we're using the Japanese word for an evil spirit, which is Daemon with D-A-E-M-O-N, it's just a respelling of that, which I think is clever. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by... no, not a Japanese name, but it's like, they use demon in that kind of context. Like, that's how it's, yeah. Demon is geek? Oh, no, Greek! I thought you said geek.
That's where you found me.
So you're the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filling in some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark.
Oh, damn. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. Japanese for demon would be Akuma, maybe Oni. Yeah, I don't think yokai is that. I think, isn't yokai just literally spirit? Evil or something spirit? 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. Yeah, yokai like spirits that inhabit things. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room and just held her. I mean, that was a smart thing to do. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through. Why was she... Okay, why was she there? I mean, Lana, I mean this in the nicest way. I know, like, you were gonna go get dinner afterwards, but you had a serial killer, like, 2 rooms down. Maybe don't have Emma in the same building? Especially in an interrogation room that wasn't locked or guarded? After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence,
I don't buy it. Ooh.
What are you saying?
Yeah, this all reeks like fucking rotten fish. There's no way everyone involved in the trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. There's multitudes of evidence to imply that this is a continuation of that incident, considering that the evidence is also a big part of this. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
Yeah, no shit, Lana!
I guess he wasn't convinced of the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
Fuck. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark in the police department, at the police department, right?
Yes. In the office that Damon and Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office.
Maybe we could have a look at the Chief's office to decide the final SL9 murder. Chat, I need to add some Ace Attorney music to my soundboard. I was thinking of adding some reading music and maybe also this track. Because I like this track a lot, it's very dramatic. The beauty of this game is though, even if you think he's a bad guy, you need to figure out why, how, why, and for what reason. Yeah. We just play detective. We play all the roles. Welcome in, Geppo. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. What's up? The ceiling. Got him. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. Even detectives seem the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back here later. Well, I came here because I wanted to go to the Chief's office. Chief! Oh shit! Wait, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be like incarcerated or something. I mean, I guess. No, you should definitely be incarcerated right now. You attacked Meekins. Well, howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things would turn out the way that when I woke up this morning. peace, Sarah. You never know where life will lead you. Hey, Bambina. I should have known my luck would run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. It dried up? Say, where you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. That's not bad. We already know what we're going to do in there. Yeah, especially if the bad guy's trait is shown in the cutscene. Yeah, like in case 2, we already knew it was something Wright. We already knew he was involved in the murder. But it was to work out why he did it.
But Mr. Marshall, why did he do it?
Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Yeah, Emma, I don't know why you're saying why did he do it. His brother was killed. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, I just become him. Would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning, and it wasn't the fish in the watering hole. Wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean, fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon?
You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade and knife was not a perfect match for the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there is no good chance that knife was not the murder weapon.
But it has blood on it. And is this the one he used in order case? Well, if it was a different knife. Hold on. Okay, we need to actually, like, make the SL9 incident an entire thing, chat, so give me a second.
So, if we go on here, this is what I currently have for it. It looks awful, so let's change this up a little bit. Let's move this. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I guess I can keep it here. So basically, Switchblade and Glove were involved in it. So we know everyone who was involved. So let's make that his own thing. And then I'll put these two together. Something went down in the courtroom. Switchblade and Glove were involved in the incident. So I'm just going to try and, like, put together a mind map of what happened with Emma's almost murder and Neil's death. So Lana and Gant, their offices were separated, but there was an elevator in between them. Right? In the interrogation room, there was Damon Gant, there was Neil Marshall, and then there was also Joe Dark. They were talking, they were giving him the squeeze. I'm betting Damon Gant said something that made him think, oh, I need to kill Emma right now. So he ran out. And he either had the knife in that instant, maybe. Neil ran after him. Emma was in here. Neil tackled him to the ground. Neil ended up dying. He had the knife through his chest. So he had a switchblade in his chest. Stab. And then at some point, Lana arrived. She wasn't involved in it prior to this. She was just here. We know that when the electricity went out, that the elevator went down. So lightning. Lightning knocked out the power. There's no way Gant could have predicted that. That's an outside force outside of his control. That means the elevator would have stopped working. Wait, how did Lana get there then? If the elevator went out, chat, how did Lana get there after she was the first person to arrive? Surely Damon would have been the first person to arrive. He would have known the commotion was out. He was already here. Lana wasn't. She wasn't in her office. And if the lightning knocked out the power, that means the elevator was knocked out, so she couldn't have gone here at that time. Oh. However, in the report that finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SR9 incident left behind.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. He doesn't have that weird chin beard, so he probably looks more handsome than you do. I had just made a detective when it went down. It was our first case together. Oh, it was also your last case being detective. So that he wasn't annoyed about like losing the bag. He was annoyed about his brother dying.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. Yeah, that statue still has something to do with this case.
The day the SR9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the same day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years had already gone by. Tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Didn't try and kill you though. It might have accommodated them more. Because like chat, like here's the thing about like trying to hide evidence. Like you can just kill the people involved, but that would incriminate you even more. Sometimes keeping the person alive is the smart strategy to do. Like you think about like the game traitors. Sometimes the smartest thing to do as a traitor is not killing the player that's most suspicious, but keeping them alive to sow doubt. And then you kill them at the end when there's no other witnesses. There's no one else who could fight back. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. How to Be a Criminal by Flora Reverie coming to a bookstore near you this spring. Hey, it's important to think like a criminal, because that's the only way you're going to be able to catch them. I'm not telling you to be a criminal, chat. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? It did something to him too. The commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. There you go. They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and the second in command, Lana Skye, they both got promoted. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of the duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. He's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Oh, is he being used like a puppet by Gant to get what he wants? Like she's been forging evidence for him? Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me what happened to my sister. Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. Never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. Could it have been Gant involved in the case? I don't think Jake's involved. But I think maybe Angel might be involved. Because no, he was there. He was the witness, so she's still involved in the case. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for you sure I found out in court today. That boy Acuff isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be able to show one after today. Oh. How do you... Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Why? How has this game done this? It's made me like him now. I don't want him to go. Adios, Bambina. Damn. Damn, game! Even like do a fade to black. Well, not fade to black. A fade out the music. That was cool. How do I go to the Keith office? Is it? Oh, was that in the actual prosecutor's office? Maybe. Oh. Oh god, there's Angel here. No. No, please, no. Oh, good. No one's here today. Not even Miss Star. Ben Star. They should have faded this music out and placed it with the Blue Badger theme. That would have been a decision made by a game like Final Fantasy X-2 Maelstrom. Not a good video game. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Is this what they mean? Is this where it happened? No, it wasn't in this room, was it? This relative isn't here. The trick of these attorney games making you go from hating a character to actually liking them, yeah? Or the opposite. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. Took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting a falsifying evidence 2 years ago. Just have to come back later. I mean, Edgeworth must have known. Because he found out after the fact that it was false. So he must have known the evidence he was given by Lana was falsified. Right? He can't not know that. Okay, here we go. Place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in a conference room. Thanks? Oh, he actually talked to us. The guy in the background of our unique design actually talked to us. But the chief prosecutor saying what he did and the decision about what to do, but Mr. Edgeworth not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, would like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building. Take elevator to the top floor. Are we going to be allowed inside? I don't think you can just go into the chief officer's office like this. I don't think you can do that. Really? I mean, it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Oh, god damn it, Emma! God damn it, Emma! He was going to let us in there! Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Emma! Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the Keith office. I'm just gonna go in there anyway, even though they told us not to. We're gonna get arrested. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, if I didn't think he was evil before, his fucking Pontiff Sullivan boss arena probably would make me think he's evil. Oh, and his music is organ, so that makes sense. Chat, I know we're here, but we are on an ad break. So, I'm going to use this ad break to do our first wheel spin. Chat, just because he has a church organ in his office doesn't make him evil. I mean, it makes him egotistical. Right. So we're going to spin the wheel, chat, for the quick harvest next week. So if you don't know what this is, I'll do a bit of an intro. Chat, let's put some music on in the background since it is a... Oh, it was Cadence of Hyrule music, but now it's not. So last week, chat, I did a unique stream called Quick Harvest where I went through 3 indie games from last year that I span from a wheel. Now, we've got all those indie games here, the ones I haven't done anyway. There's quite a number still left. So, yeah, we're going to be doing this twice a week. And eventually, well, once we run out, I guess. I don't think we are going to run out, though, this year. Look how many there are. We'll see how long this takes. Right, let's get started. Did I say twice a week? I meant twice a month. Twice a week. First spin. Oh. Oh. Okay, chat. That was almost Dead Letter Department, which is the game that pays you for to one of the Vault Super shows. The first game we're going to be playing is Urban Myth Dissolution Center, which is a game that I think came out around the same time as Dead Letters. But I've heard decent things about it. So I'm going to add that to the next wheel. Not the next wheel. Add it to my card. And also take it off the wheel as well. Right at the bottom. In fact, it's just above Dead Lair Department. So we're going to do the other two, join the other two intermissions. Because I think that sounds like a good idea. There we go though, chat. Look how many games there are on this wheel. There's a lot. I might add all the games I had from the previous couple of years as well, just on my back catalogue. I've got so many games on there of things I probably won't get a chance to like fully play. This is a good chance to like at least check it out for a little bit. Wasn't that the game that pays you play with for like 45 minutes and nothing happened? Well, that'll be us. Also playing that for 45 minutes and nothing happening if it shows up. But I am glad we got our first horror game, because there are a lot of horror games on this list that I'm looking forward to getting into. Right, back to Ace Attorney, chat. Back to fucking this. Whoa, where am I? I mean, you know where you are. And the keys of it, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Yeah, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. I'm not even going to question how that works. They used to call me Little Miss Back. Thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Oh! Is it going to like come out of the organ? I never could remember where C was. Hmm? Oh no! Uh-oh. You summon him, Emma. Emma, this is the second fucking mistake you've made today. And the span like fire. Oh! Oh, it's you too! Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, righto! Have you been swimming lately? No. No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. Also, cool golden armor in the background there. How hard do you think it was to make this room? Like, he's got like ornamental stained glass windows. Like architecture that's kind of like a church. How did he do this? Emma, you summoned the Gant. Oh? I've had my hands full with the Marshal's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies! See that big picture on the wall over there? Sort of. That's a picture of Lana and Neolami. No way, I wouldn't have known that. Also, you got the golden statue in there too, kind of off-center, or like almost cropped off. This is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. Okay, so the statue was still, like, a little bit broken in this picture too. That's good to know. Can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. I think I've just put my finger on it. Or, more importantly, the sword on it. There's no sword on this picture, chat. Where's the sword gone? Oh, shit. Gant team picture added to the court record. Also, does that guy eat the spear? Okay, I don't know if he did or not. Stop staring at me. The sword is missing, yeah. I mean, I thought it was all part of one statue. I didn't think the sword came off, but I guess it does. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, thought you were gonna invite me out to a date or something.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we still have to have a little look around.
Oh, perhaps you didn't hear me.
I said there's no need to investigate it anymore.
Now hurry up and let get our meeting to an end.
A broken sword and shield makes sense. Yeah, like the shield makes more sense for a defense attorney. But the sword being it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like we aren't welcome. Seems that case isn't over with you after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
Mean like a clue?
There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office. And I know just the man. Gumfuck! This is not the area I wanted to go to. It's not gonna be Edgeworth, is it? I mean, maybe he has like a lockpick or something, maybe.
Hey, pal!
There he is, my boy. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. I mean, at least he's still a detective. Like, everyone else involved in this case has either been demoted or killed, so at least he's still alive. Edgeworth? No? Why do you ask? Under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. Looks like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious. I like how to use the same sound effect from when we do fight in court there.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what this all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
Well, thanks for making the situation not awkward, Gumshoe. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Anna Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Salary cutting noises. How much more can Gumshoe's salary be cut, though? He's already living out of a box. Regardless, our prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as the prosecutors keep him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
Not on this side of the world. Not on this side of the screen. In our world, only those of talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no bad recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work!
Yes, sir!
Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My trio, they love him!
Yes, sir!
Gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir!
Seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out.
I mean, Gumshoe is lovable. He does feel like the sort of person that you just love to hang out with, even at work.
Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack.
I mean, considering he was involved in a murder case last time, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to crack under all these rumors. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did he find anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Yeah, that girl was right here, Gumshoe. Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon, which we already know about. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we could show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory.
That's a good shout. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident.
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal!
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then when he was burying the bodies, a joker came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. How the fuck did no one find out about this? Doesn't sound like it was orchestrated. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. Wasn't a single shred of evidence. How? So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall! That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was better. Sounds like the script of Sipcon. Also, I'm trying to work out at what point during this whole proceedings did they have time to sit down in the court and be like, how do we work out what he's done? How do we get evidence on how he's done this stuff? It sounds to me he killed all the 5 people pretty quickly, and then they got him, took him to the interrogation room, and then he went to go kill the final person. There was no time where the detectives were like, oh, how do we work out how he killed these people? I don't know, maybe the witnesses didn't say anything, and that took place over a long period of time. Also, I was going to edit his chief information and say, he was a businessman. He was a businessman. But then he killed a guy. And killed more guys. There we go. Great note to add to your notes, Flower. Excellent note. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. Really, thanks for your help, Gumshoe. You're helpful as always. Okay, let's present to you this. He went on a guy killing spree. Yeah, he just hated guys. I mean, guys do suck, to be fair. About this. Hey, is that? There's a tag attached to it with the label SN9 incident on it. I believe this will be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
On that day, Detective Goodman was murdered. This suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
Which we found out is different to a scarf muffler. That's it!
Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. Don't die, Gumshoe, please. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what was it, detective? Quick, before you forget again.
Come on, Gumshoe, time to be useful. Come on. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's a lie. Gumshoe's been very useful, of course, this entire case. He had us in the evidence room as well. That's right. Traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
I'll take a good look at it to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim. The old marshal was carrying it inside his own body. Oh, it's like how Manfred had that piece of metal still on his shoulder because he was so angry he refused to get medical care. It was found deep inside a stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. I mean, it could have been planted on him.
Pretty conclusive.
He also topped the report. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound. Damn, it went through his lung and his heart? The long knife?
Well, no, because that would imply that the knife tip was in his body.
So, we know the switchblade is what killed him, at the very least. The broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to the murderer Joe Dark. Because, like, it could be like, oh, but maybe the tip was from a different weapon. Gumshoe just said that the part of that knife was very, very particularly tied to the switchblade. I don't think we need to say that it's not part of that knife. I think it is. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. Unless it was inserted afterwards by Damon Gant, who was definitely in that room or in that building before Lana arrived because of the power outage. I mean, it also makes sense why she didn't know what the time was. Like, if all the power went out, she might have arrived like 10 minutes afterwards, like when Emma was passed out. Because everyone was passed out by the time Lana arrived. So that would have given Damon time to go in there and do stuff. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. Not money, but it does concern the chief. This obviously is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
Chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Come on, Gumshoe. We need you right now. We need you to not be a gumfuck. Come on. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock that car. The car? The door?
What? Really?
Well, they let a civilian in there. I'm not a civilian. I'm a lawyer. I mean an investigator. I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'll be canned. Don't I have a detective's ID? I got this. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The lady was the lady the day he died.
Oh.
So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. Well, doesn't Edgeworth have the key card as well? He wouldn't care.
What is there something that we could show him that would make him change his mind?
Like a steak lunch. What do we have? We got this. Have a look at this. Oh no, he's doing this again. Do we need to like bring him something that we haven't got? Maybe right now? Maybe he does need a steak lunch. I mean, would that be enough to make him want to like lose his job? Make me want to lose my job. Love a steak lunch. Maybe I do need to go see Edgeworth. I don't think I could do anything right now because I feel like that Emma was like, we need to get him evidence. So let's go find Edgeworth. Let's go see how Edgeworth is doing right now, shall we? Go in here. Go up the stairs. My boy, okay? I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. Look, he's writing something.
He's writing his last will and testament. What are you doing here? Are you finally working on your Phoenix Wright and Edgeworth fan fiction, Edgeworth? He looks so annoyed. He sure was quick to throw away that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years of rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. I want to talk to you about your life. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. Edgeworth is definitely not a huge fan of the Steel Samurai, 100% not. That's where it all breaks down to. Nothing I can do can erase that fact. You do like blaming yourself a lot, don't you, Edgeworth? You like blaming yourself for all these things that you definitely had no involvement in. Like, remember last case where he was like, I killed my father, even though he was like 14, he was like running out of oxygen in that room, and he was like, yeah, I definitely killed my father somehow. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that's an actual character flaw, I think, of his of him. Like, he likes to blame himself a lot for things that, like, he didn't really have that much involvement in. I mean, the evidence wasn't falsified. Well, I mean, to be fair, he threw the gun and then it went off and his dad had a gunshot wound. It could have come from anything. Maybe not. It couldn't have been the gun that went off. I can see why he thought he did it, maybe. Police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains the same no matter what excuse I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Maybe you want to go out for tea, me, Edgeworth? We can have a lovely day out together. That sounds great. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First, last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. Yeah, okay, don't fuel the fan fiction devs with lines like these. Do you think the devs, all these translators, try to sneak in some dialogue like that? I mean, there was that one part in case 3, I think, where Edgeworth talked about like unnecessary feelings. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. This is the same sheet of paper that Gant had. Only half as long as most lists. That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been involved part of the investigation, but I know what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Hey, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture? Something strange about it. And we have the statue actually lying over there right now. I'm gonna do a stretch, chat. I'm gonna stand up. There's a lot of dialogue in this game, chat, and it can get exhausting to read it for over an hour. So I'm just gonna stretch, take some deep breaths, I have a genuine question. You said to me before you don't like when people do all the falling over gills and game stuff, but why is it okay when it's Edgeworth? Because I'm a massive hypocrite, Maelstrom, that's why. No, the difference, I don't mind the fawning. Like, you're allowed to be, oh, you're so beautiful. It just makes me hate that character for doing it. My issue is they put these characters in, like, these skinny outfits, really revealing, and then they have the male characters glaze their eyes all over them. And then it's like, this feels creepy and perverted. You're allowed to have, you know, you're not allowed to be flirtatious of someone, I guess, to a certain extent. But, like, in that situation, I don't know, man. I feel it's a little bit more weird when the character has their full cleavage out and the male character is just glazing their eyes over them and being like, oh, you're so pretty. Why don't we go on a date tonight? Something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a feeling I have that makes me feel, like, irksome. I mean, what if Edgeworth had his full cleavage out? I'll tell him to sock it up. I'll tell him to keep it in his pants, man. Who is he presenting for? Is he presenting for me? Right, I am recuperated, chat. Maelstrom, this is a good question for you. How do you do, like, 3 hours of just talking streams? Because I'm an hour in, and I'm, like, fucking exhausted. Like, sitting here, doing all this dialogue. I assume you take breaks during your recordings, but I don't know how long you do your breaks for. Big stretch. I'm also gonna blink on my eyes a bit as well. Well, let's continue. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? If you mean it's turning teams to take some breaks between other streams when it's very talky heavy, I guess just conditioning over time, you get used to it. I guess. I feel like I've been streaming long enough. Although, to be fair, I was also streaming Persona, which is a game that doesn't have that much. No, there were full streams in that where I did just talking. I think it's about taking breaks and not overexerting yourself during it. Also, something that I found, which has been an issue on my part, is when you play a game where you do a bunch of reading, it kind of makes it hard to formulate your own discussion points when you play games like this. Because you're spending the time focusing on doing the text and taking that text in. When a game is voice acted, you can kind of commentate over it, but when it's not and you have to read it, it kind of makes it harder to insert little comments and stuff as well. I'm also the youngest of 4 boys and used to get talking non-stop to get anyone to listen to me. It's true, I am also an only child, so I probably don't have that experience. I sometimes think about what it'd be like to have a sibling, but then I also think about how annoying it would have been, so I don't know. I guess it's an interesting dichotomy. Never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't simply skip out on a ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, then clerical stuff. Clerical stuff? Didn't plan on returning to the office that day. I don't know about having a sister, but I can say having 3 brothers with just, like, having 3 mates who live with you, not like that for everyone I know, yeah. That is until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? Yes. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. So, just to confirm with what we know so far, Edgeworth went to the evidence room at 4:40 PM and he returned to the car park at 5:12 PM. Edgeworth, how did you... Wait. He fucking speeded! He speeded! He was caught speeding! Because it takes half an hour to get back in between. He arrived back at 5:12. he wouldn't have left the building until like 4:50. He got back in 22 minutes. My guy, in this like cool, fast vehicle, was caught speeding. Can't believe it. Edgeworth was gonna get a ticket. King Opozuku has brought evidence back to police station at 4:40 p.m. You know, I recorded a part 1 for this case back in August, but I'm gonna need to re-record the whole part again at some point. Oh no. Edgeworth the lawbreaker, yeah. What an absolute lovely person. And it was a screwdriver. Interestingly enough. I was suffering from pretty bad at some of the time, and I can catch myself falling asleep a handful of times in the episode. Oh no. I feel that. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the Poltergeist office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Obviously, Edgeworth didn't commit the crime. I'm not even, like, suspecting him, considering the whole last case was trying to make him innocent. I'm showing in the picture, aren't I? Yeah, I am. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King and Prosecutor's trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Be careful, chat, talking about investigations. I haven't played it yet. So just be wary of spoilers, please. What you have said is fine, but just be cautious. Yes. Trophy Mr. Marshall was holding. A little different than yours. Yes, you're right.
Ah, I remember now.
When he had the face like this, I can only speak like this for his character. Like, it's so cheesy. Remember what?
That was what the
Official Prosecutor's trophy looked like. Okay, it's a different trophy, okay. Well, that makes more sense. I thought they were the same one.
There's a story behind this design.
Story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really.
Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? And this is a completely unrelated chat, but it is just reminding me. Giant Bomb recently, or Mike from Giant Bomb recently played Nine Souls and was talking about it on the latest Giant Bomb podcast, and he talked nice things about it. But the thing that irked me about what he said is that it was based on Japanese folklore. It is not. It is Taiwanese. And I'm looking forward to you to getting into that, Maelstrom, because you get to see some cool Taiwanese folklore be explored. Because I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And then when that game came out, I spent a bunch of time like researching some of the history. And it's so different to Chinese history. And I find it interesting, chat. And you'll be able to see Maelstrom play that. I don't know if it's going to be next week, because you said you were going to be doing... I think you still got some Wolfenstein left. But I am looking forward to watching that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh no, it will be next week, because this week... Today is when you're going to finish Wolfenstein, I think, right? There was a chance I might even start it midway through today's stream. Oh, not today. Wait, okay, today's Saturday. I know what's going on. I thought today was Monday, chat. Ah! To be fair, I also stream on Monday. I think you're doing trails tonight, aren't you? I think I have just over an hour of Wolfenstein to go. Yeah, you do. I like Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, but I did remember while watching it some of my issues with that game. mainly in its pacing. I think that game really peaks like halfway through, and then it kind of feels like two games stitched together. In my opinion, I just think that it's not as interesting as the first one. I think the first one it kind of just raised itself up all the way to the end. While this one has definitely got great moments in it, but I think it's a little all over the place as well. So I'm hoping they can kind of bring that back for the third Wolfenstein game. Also, I'm not a big fan of the gameplay. I think the gameplay is fine, but it's not as good as Doom, and it can get a little bit boring. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard of this story? Me? Oh, yeah, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Phoenix, for fuck's sake. Very well. Of course he knows about this. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. You know, since we're still talking about Chinese folklore, chat, I was thinking today about it. About how cool Sekiro 2 could be. Because they hinted at the end of Sekiro that we were going to get some cool Chinese folklore Journey to the West. And I'm like, I still want that. I really hope From are working on that right now, because I need more Sekiro in my life. Like, we are getting great games that are kind of Sekiro-esque, like Nine Souls, and I think Wu Chang was also really good, but I haven't played that yet, and Lies of P. But man, I need more Sekiro in my life. I need, like, Sekiro gameplay combined with Chinese mythology. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Objection! Those claims contradict each other! Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. This is cute, I like this. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And first the Chinese word for contradiction was born. That's really cool. Oh, I see. So the chipped sword and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. The sword being chipped is very similar to how the switchblade was chipped, chat. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. And also the pot. The pot could be the shield in this case, and the switchblade could be the sword. I wonder if there's a correlation there. Chipped sword. Chipped shield. Maybe not. Maybe this is a coincidence. In our nature to pursue matters to their own. Ask Edgeworth about his pot. I mean, that's what he's got in his background right now. Even results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. I never learn anything new when I'm around Phoenix. What the fuck? That's funny. If that's so, then why are you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years he had this halberd part, the award abolished. Yeah, because he no longer sees it as a fight, maybe? He only sees it for what it is, a defense. Chief Gant. Or it lost its bite and is only bark now. That's interesting. Okay, well that means I can keep my notes a little bit. Statue isn't damaged. Was changed from a sword and shield to just a shield. Is based on a Chinese story about contradictions. I don't know why I thought it was Monday today, chat. Is that what we needed? I mean, I guess. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're about to get murdered by, Angel. I'll be back at work if it was. Please don't put that evil on me. Excuse me? Uh-oh.
Would either of you care for a quarter pounder of roast beef?
Miss Star! I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked the cow's nipple to discover milk.
What the fuck? I mean, I don't like thinking about that necessarily, but I feel like if you're drunk enough, you might be like, oh, I want to taste what this nipple tastes like. I hate that thought. I hate the thought of us discovering what a cow's nipple does.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SR9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred in the very day the evidence room from the case was due for transfer, or can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. I don't want to think of cow nipples, Angel. No, I don't really want to think about that either. Welcome in, Winterheart. Ah yes, onigiri and cleavage, my favourite food truck. You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up won't change. I do appreciate that this case is giving us good summaries of what has happened so far. It is so long that if they didn't do this, I might forget important details. And they're doing it in a good way as well. I appreciate it.
Roast beef is meant to be savoured when eaten.
Miss Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. I don't really feel bad for her.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year.
Oh, the pressure. Whoa, 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 what do you mean you trailed him for half a year? Didn't he kill all his people in like one go?
So I don't think I was even more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Oh, poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, so took over Jake. Became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her more and more desperate.
Huh?
Lana Skye.
But Jake was the last person to be killed. They had the evidence they needed from that, didn't they?
My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo Lana and Keith Gant. Oh, leave Keith Gant! That legendary pair is the reason we were able to keep up our investigation.
I think you're getting Jake and Meal mixed up. Meal? Why did I say Meal? Neil mixed up. Yeah, I think I am too.
That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong. Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team there found will suddenly appear, or other items were kept secret.
But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I just remember we need to go back into Edgeworth's office and get that crumpled up piece of paper off the ground and have a look at it.
I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. I always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears.
Huh?
Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn.
I can't believe you're just saying that.
That's my take on the matter.
He was being used?
Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation, with Lana as second in command, and they were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Yeah, you're just outright saying he forged it now. Incredible evidence? You mean...
Oh yes. There were rumors about him even back then.
Count Damon Gant.
No one dared confront him though.
I take it she's talking about forged evidence.
Well, back then everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
It makes sense more why you hate her now as well, because she got promoted and you were both in the same position before that.
Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool really. She hid anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she lost her own brother.
Which would make sense if she knew that Gant was responsible for it and she felt guilty about it. He's pretty bitter for someone that's rich off of what, rice balls? Yeah.
If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her.
I kind of agree to a certain extent, but I also still think you're involved in it, so...
Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence.
Chief?
Chief! That's right. Having solved the SR9 case, his position was as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way.
You're just outright spelling it to us.
The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean... that's why Lana was transferred?
Well, if he can control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana?
With you, I assume, right? Threatening your life keeps Lana in check.
I don't know, but there's one thing for sure. Ever since that case ended, never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change.
At last, finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr.
Oh, you listen to me, rookie. Takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. I will say that while I think this is a little bit long-winded in a lot of places, this case, I think this has the best characters out of the cases so far. Like, there's not a single character in this case, outside of maybe Meekins, that I don't like. I think they're all really good, and they have emotional elements as well to them, which I think was kind of missing from some characters in previous cases. I'm going to go back in and have a look at that piece of paper on the ground, Edgeworth. Wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
You crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
You distract him.
I'll check him. I'll make out of him. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window? Oh no, he's fallen to the ground. Hold on. First let me see what that girl's doing crawling around my feet. You couldn't have waited in 5 seconds, Emma? Didn't even look.
What? Letter of...
No! What the fuck?
If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it to you.
It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm tired, Hornet. That's one of my favourite sound effects ever. that sums up my entire experience with Silk Song. Feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. It's not your fault, man. Stop letting the guilt that you haven't committed eat you up. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
Letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Oh, well, that'll make Gumshoe want to defend you. Okay, I'm glad I came back here. I will say, like, knowing the events of... Knowing that this case will have no impact on Game 2 and, I guess, 3. Although it might have an impact on 3. Knowing this game will have an impact on Game 2 means we know Edgeworth, nothing bad is going to happen to Edgeworth. Because he's going to be in that game, no, 100%. Oh. Don't tell me Gumshoe's dead. Are you sure about that? Yes. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I'm gonna make 150 copies of this files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ.
Gotta admire your persistency. My answer's still no. Not letting you in a keeps office, period. Be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SR9 incident. Take a look in there.
There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
Almost like the thing I've got right now. I'm gonna make you sad, Gumshoe. Get ready. What's this crumpled up piece of crumpled up? Like, what's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice. I thought he was an asshole. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective.
That's it. I made up my mind.
But
here, take up my ID card. What does Gumshoe eat? The dude is 2 meters wide. Well, he talked about getting like a $35 a month lunch, so that kind of gives you an idea. We can't do that. Someone found out.
They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost iron report.
Look at me. No secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake! Alright, detective. Thank you. Oh, thank you for helping us, Gumshoe. I'm glad Gumshoe's had a really important part in this case. Right. To his office. He's got a good Batman chin though, yeah. Maybe he is Batman. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Incorrect password. Please provide a proper ID. Yeah, we've got a lot of ground to cover.
We're in. Anyone finds us now?
But if Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Ah!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could stop a ghost. Ah! If Gumshoe, good delayed reaction, Phoenix. What are you sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried so he does sneak up on us a lot in these games. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Damn. Hey! Don't do that to my card! Can't believe we just destroyed his card like that. I'll never get a chance to come in here. I can have a look around myself. Right, we're all in this together, aren't now?
Really do want to get fired, don't you?
Well, if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. Got a bad feeling about this. Okay. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's?
Yes, that's why I was waiting for Lana.
It's weird being in a room with two characters like this. Gumshoe has joined the party. Yeah, he has.
On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now? I think I joked about this last night, that it'd be funny if there was a Ace Attorney Metroidvania where you just spend the time getting evidence and then you gotta give it to the courtroom during the bosses. Or like an Ace Attorney Zelda game. I mean, there's that one, like, Ocarina of Time mod. That's like an Ace Attorney, style game. No, sir, it's entirely Chief Gant's office now. That is a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see.
Ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk.
No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here that's a little bit creepy.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident.
There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Maybe he's waiting until the evidence transfer, maybe. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Now, what do you think I am, Gumshoe? Okay, let's have a look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
If someone tells you don't worry about it, just to stop bothering you, pal. Just let it go at that. Sorry. That's starting to get on my nerves. No, he's not. Okay, so what's bothering you? You don't think Chief Gant might be our suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
Chief Gant has finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. I'm sorry, Gumshoe. I'll ignore you a bit more in the future if you want me to. Right, Cat, we've got ads starting in a second. So, we're going to spend a bit of that time before the ads begin to roll our wheel for our second Quick Harvest game next Friday. Oh, that's the wrong screen. There we go. Wheel and roll. I haven't got any audio for this. Oh my god! It's Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I'm pretty sure you streamed this, Maelstrom, if I'm correct. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good. That'll be our second game we play in that evening. So we got that and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. That might end up being a full playthrough at some point on my own time. But not now. Not at that point. But that'll be our second game we're going to be doing. Oh god, I'm so glad it wasn't fucking Lost Souls aside. Oh, right. Chat, I'm going to go on a small intermission and I'm going to get a snack and a cup of tea and I'll be back momentarily. So just enjoy intermission. I'll see you guys in a second. But you said there was a woman camping there. She was the one who heard the 2 gunshots, right? Oh, he is deep. Oh my god. It's like a fucking demon. Who knew we would be encountering the actual demon in case 5? I'm back, chat. Got myself a nice cup of tea and 2 digestive biscuits. Dunked them in the tea and had them while watching some of the clips. Right. Let's move on, shall we? We got some stuff to do, mainly examining. Let's go from right to left, I guess. This is the real deal, isn't it? Armor and these weapons. Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First a pipe organ, now there's armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room?
What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes.
No, Emma. I don't have any taxes to pay. Careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
Second ad break in a row where I've had no ads even though I don't use... Yeah, they don't always give you 3 minutes of ads. I think Maelstrom can confirm, but I'm pretty sure they don't always do the 3 minutes of ads. Sometimes it will happen, but sometimes it doesn't.
I don't think he'd fit in there.
Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out, you guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
Yeah, he is pretty scary to be fair, Gumshoe. You can see pretty far from 15 stories up. Where to drop that suit of armor from here?
At first, the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window.
Really? Why didn't he?
They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view.
Oh.
Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. I think it depends on what ads they serve you specifically, although I had no ad blocker, so no idea really, yeah.
Wow, I have an indelicate question to ask. Are there human ears under their hair, or is it just a cat on top?
In this character design, this is a Makote from Final Fantasy 14 Winterheart. This is a special race in Final Fantasy 14 where they're like cat people. In terms of if there's an actual person under that hair, I don't know, maybe. Maybe that would be the twist. This is safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so.
Looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
7-digit number. Think about us know what it is. Do you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birth dates?
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing.
Wait. Am I locked out of the room now? Oh, for fuck's sake. 7-digit number. 7-digit number. 7-digit number. I don't know what it is. Thank God, I wasn't like, what the fuck?
Yes, that wasn't it.
I was so sure that was the number.
Maybe we should check the court records again.
7-digit number. Yeah, not now. I want to explore the rest of the room.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Is he compensating for something?
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Oh, it's you two! Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence. In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this though. I'm surprised it doesn't lock his drawer in here.
And look at the case name.
Huh? SO9 incident! What that is doing here? Hold on, detective.
What did you just say? Say that again.
8008135 is is a 7-digit number. It is, but I don't think we can input a number twice. I said, I wonder what... No, about that evidence list. Normally they're twice as long. Right, I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. There was a lot. It was a serial killer. Half-size list of evidence. List of evidence. Seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. I mean, they said they found 0 evidence until the Neil Marshall incident. Serial killers are the worst. What a waste of food. It's true. What would the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so. Ooh. List of evidence in the SO9 incident was ripped in half, so just wait, why didn't I get the other half from Edgeworth? Why didn't I get it from him, game?
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
We found this inside the drawer. List of evidence from the SO9 incident.
Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list.
What would this list be doing here? Let's look a little more into this list. King's organ sure is a sight to behold. Does he like play it? Can you like hear it from other parts of the building? Occasionally we hear him playing it from the criminal affairs department. That's on the 2nd floor. This is the 15th floor of an entirely different building. Yeah, also like, I feel like you better hear that from across the entire neighborhood. The detective screws up, the chief calls them to his office. Makes them listen to the organ for hours.
What's so bad about that?
Music soothes us. I don't know if you've heard an organ before, Emma, but it sounds like you're entering hell. After that, they can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears. Yeah, that's a workplace like safety violation, Gumshoe. I feel like you should have, you know, told someone about that maybe. It's an instrument of punishment, literally.
But aren't the chief's ears affected?
Is that why he yells so much? And he's constantly like clapping his hands? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's besides the point. That might be an important piece of information as well, to be fair.
This was taken on that day 2 years ago.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Chat! The vase is in this picture! I didn't even notice, I was so focused on the statue! Okay, okay. That is good information to have. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marsh took a picture here, and went along with Chief Gant to a question dark. They never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. You think? Why are we so mean to Gumshoe? These shelves are most likely mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them when out when she transferred to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture frame on the left side.
Hey, this is when Lana and I went to that theme park.
I do love Gant's theme, it's so good. This is Lana's desk, it sure is tidy.
Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner.
Not even dust on it. Look, looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. Or to keep things out of the way. They were the stuff legends are made of. Did they keep it in memory of her? Or in memory of the crime? Well, only one person can solve this, my good friend Luminol Testing Fluid. Let's do it. I love that instrument, by the way, chat. The bong, 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 bong. I don't know what it is. It's like a synth horn.
Oh, his hair must have been covered in blood. This from that incident? Must have been. When prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Would the blood still be... I guess he didn't change it at all, so it must have still been the same. 2 years have passed since...
So the reaction's kind of dull. The murder really did take place here. Are we going to use the DNA testing kit on the safe? I mean, I don't know why we need to do that. We know it's him. Damn it. I'm amazed this bottle still has spray in it. What? Wonder what this is. Looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. And maybe an image to give to Angel Star to tell her what to say. What is it? Did you find something? Can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? Especially with Phoenix taking snorts a bit off camera. Don't forget about this photo. Can I look at the fun game? No? Okay. Game, I can't read that. Autoplay? I mean autoplay. Game, I can't read the evidence sheet. Neil Marshall 27 date and time of death 7 PM 7:30. Single stab wound, diving blood loss in only 10 minutes with weapon found and wound was missing tip. Oh, I think it inputs the secret unlimited luminol spray cheat code each time you need to use it. Exactly. I'm not really too sure, chat, how I'm meant to be solving this. It's a 7-digit code. We can't input a number twice. Okay, which one of these only allows you to input it once? None of them do. Some of them have double digits. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing here then. What? Are we gonna go somewhere else? Let's just confirm I can't put in double digits. That might have been an error with the machine. I want to check before, just in case I fucked up or something. It's good, I can't fuck up here, so I don't have to worry about fucking up. Okay, you can. So I'm gonna try 777777 then. It is 7 numbers too. So that makes me think it has to be that. Is this code 77777? Yeah, they even say 7-digit code, sneaky bastards. This game loves being sneaky. Input number. It's 7777. I don't know if it is, but let's just try it. It makes sense because it is his ID card number.
Alex, I got the music industry code. Here it is. 77777777.
With the music industry code, you can get discounts on your drinks, chat. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? The final ID card number on the record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 777777? That's 1 too few sevens. I think you're 1 7 shy this time. This can only be one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number.
Say.
Hold on, I'm gonna add that to the thing. We've worked out who the final guy was. I had a feeling it was going to be Gant. But we can be sure now. It is Gant. Da-da-da! He came in at 4:20 PM. He could have committed the murder. Well, no, he was stabbed at 4:30. And he would have needed a time to get out of there, which he would have had time for. But the murder definitely occurred between 4:30 and 6 PM. So he might not have been stabbed in the actual place. He might have been stabbed elsewhere. He could have been stabbed in the actual car park. Still, maybe. Let's have a look at our evidence, shall we? Is there anybody in there? How much does he have stashed away? Gumshoe, no, not now.
Look, it's...
Oh, fuck. A shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
There's something else in here too.
What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? Yeah, I saw something wearing a shirt like that. We're gonna use the fingerprint thing one more time. Yeah, I was hoping we'd use it again. The fun mini game. You think the chief made up that design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? Is that all we have in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now. It's good info though. Piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. Look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have nothing to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Yeah, but you already got your neck on the line from opening the door, Gumshoe. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SO9 incident?
Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective.
Okay, well, I'll show you the first one, Gumshoe. Number one, Uno, probably would be this. Bit of Gumshoe. Could you have another look at this jar? Yeah, just this giant jar that I've been carrying around everywhere, 100%. I remember when the three of us put that thing back together. Those were the days. Yesterday. Kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right, one of the shards with an SI9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yeah, that one. That was in the safe.
Give him a second, chat. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells! Let's see if it fits. Assemble fragments. Okay, let me see this shot. I'll take a crack at this. I mean, it'll be easy as hell, right? We'll just put it on.
Here's some glue.
I can piece this together again. I'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. The hardest puzzle ever. Ba-ba-bum! There, it fits like a charm. That of course means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SO9 incident.
But
hey guys, get a load of this. Emma went unconscious at some point during that situation. She wasn't hurt. Was it? It was dark. The lights went out. Lightning flash. And in that moment, Damon Gant could have been the one to kill Neil. And he could have knocked out Joe with the pot. What is it? Piece just attached. Different from the others.
there's a reddish line on it.
Your assistant did it, yeah. Reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in a safe? Here's a good piece of information. Maybe he gripped the handle, and that's the handle he gripped. It's got his fingerprints all over it. Well, that's number one. Number two is that piece of cloth. Can I have a little look at it with the fingerprint thing? Head of Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. What the fuck was that? That was a piece of fluff. Chat just flew past my window. It's very windy today. I'm just gonna go have a little look outside my window. Give me a second. Okay, no, it's not like a recycling bin that's like flown into the garden below. Good. Do you want to take some kind of fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
Right, go to town. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? I'm not doing... Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. Oh, I thought that was Gumshoe saying that. Talking about the cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor?
Right, Mr. Wright. Let's tip for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints below, the rest away.
What are you, my mum? I have to be told 1,000,000 times. It's actually quite a quick and nice tutorial, Phoenix. Right, I want to do the index finger. It tends to be the best one you can get for fingerprints, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly what Emma said before. There we go, lovely. Get it all on there, nice and goopy. And then blow! Give it my best shot. I know that won't be any good for matching prints, will it? Well, look, we'll get a cleaner result from this print.
Different finger then.
Let's try the middle finger. Cat, get ready. Oh, that's pretty good. That dust sure makes a slushy noise. Okay, well, it's not Gant. I think it's Joe Dark. Where is he? He's not on here. Okay, right, well. Ba-ba-bum! Emma, it's you! Did he keep this in here? Oh, he kept it in here in case that's the evidence he have. He was gonna make it look like Emma killed Neil. No, how can this be? How is this blackmail? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. Oh, you're gonna lie to her? They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. Thought there'd be Dark's prints.
Psst, hey you, over here. Who's gonna walk over here? Yeah. What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Well, that's me. Let's keep this information from Emma for now. Yeah, maybe you should hold on to this. But the slurping sound said it was working. It is working. But it has Emma's prints. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some highlight. That actually like crumpled up and like scratched, considering what Phoenix did to it before. Where is it? Oh shit, chat. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This town is full of monsters.
In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat. Chief Gant! Oh no! I have a knife! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. God damn it, why do we have someone on lookout? I thought I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, oh, we're gonna get tasered again. I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Oh, do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. No! Oh! You won't be needing it anymore. But sir... Now, get out. Yes, sir. You don't have to call him sir anymore. You can call him a bellend. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you, the one with the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific...
Yeah, you can leave. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go.
Mr. Wright!
This sucks. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. You fucking idiot! You just left her in there! You could have killed her for all you know! You Phoenix! I mean, I know he's a chief of police. I guess we kind of have to listen to him, but fucking hell. Oh, no. Look, damn, I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Flower, why did you leave? I didn't leave, and the game faded to black. I had no control over it. Chief Officer's off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like you, didn't you? We said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it would be like this, then I would have said it. Now that's in the evidence, Chief Gant was hiding in his office. I think at least we got the evidence we needed for this. Keys, Flower. How do I ban Maelstrom? Can't. I'm not allowed to. Fuck. I'll unmod you. I'll unmod you for 2 seconds. No, I need you in case there's a bot appears. Why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I don't think you knew. I think she was unconscious. I'm gonna try and smooth things over with the Keith again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma that the police wanted her to ask her some questions. Oh no, they're gonna use it as evidence. Shit. He doesn't have the thing though. I have it, so I think we're fine. We should be busy for the rest of the day. Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't fabricate or anything. Oh no. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you. That's why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your woods. That's a great fucking line, I love that. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Mia. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you've convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed. The term he used, I believed. He's also quite thick-headed as well, to be fair. That's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Here we go. Keeping quiet. Oh, fuck, this is exciting, chat. Oh, fuck, I'm in it now. I'm so excited. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. Not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. That you're incapable of doing so. Because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of was more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? We know who it is. It's always been him. He's the mastermind behind everything. Beacons, yeah. Well, Miss Guy? Miss Guy?
Mr. Wright, you are addressed in the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
Maybe she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I expected him as a director.
Not as a director.
I expected him as a detective.
Assuming he was respectable, but then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Really hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, these are serious offences. Why is it though that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant?
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered the evidence was
me. I had access because I was the second in command in that investigation.
Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words.
Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Have this? I just found this in the safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Exclamation mark, question mark. Touche, Mr. Wright. If that guy in the background becomes animated and goes and like grabs her, I'm gonna freak out.
It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman?
Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day.
I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Maybe Angel wasn't involved in it. Maybe she was just there at the time.
Just as I suspected.
Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who did be murdered Detective Goodman, but you were involved in hiding his body. So you are an accomplice.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. Trunk's lock was broken. And I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this knife was stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with the other knife.
That would be Edgeworth's knife.
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands are shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
That is the reason for the bandage on your right hand.
Yes. Seems that I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then
he was leaning against the car. Oh. He saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Star, huh? Do you think Gant had her placed there and he didn't know? Like Angel Star is an unknowing witness to this? Why do you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
Took a lot of work to finally close the Dark's case 2 years ago. It was over with, and even wanted it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible.
So, he hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day of that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. And then your exhaust pipe. A muffler and a muffler. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and asked her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You wanted to involve your sister in all of this. You asked Emma. Didn't want anyone in the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? Truth is, after I received those orders from Keith Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? What on earth would he call him? The lead investigator for the SR9 incident had been murdered. Wanted that fact to be kept hidden. I needed help. It was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as a Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card. It seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So, your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? Yeah, Lana, I think even, like, finding Gant to be, like, guilty, you're still gonna be in a lot of hot water after this. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. Even if he was being used, even if he was, being used by Gant this entire time, he still did the things. Like, if you're told to kill someone and you're being forced to do it, you're still killing them. I know it sucks, but like by virtue of how that works, you would still be guilty of that murder. It wouldn't be as severe a crime, but it is still a crime. You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. I think I have to because now Emma's in hot water. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. Gotta get to the bottom of everything. Drive off the demons. That's gonna be the name of part 15, chat. Detective Goodman's real murderer. Do a zoom in. And what went down in the keys office 2 years ago. Do a zoom in. Damn it! To be continued in the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Oh, what's happened to my voice? We did it. Well, that was a shorter episode than the previous ones, so... Whoa!
It sucks. You're an idiot!
Accidentally hit my stream deck. Chat, that was good. I enjoyed that a lot. I think we need to find out everything that's going on with Lana right now, but it's very obvious to me that Damon Gant is pulling the strings. So he's the actual murderer here. I'm gonna put him in where is it? Mastermind. Dun-dun-dun. He's the mastermind behind everything. He's the evil man who did all the bad things. And put him up here. Put Gumshoe down here. I'll have to put next to Gumshoe Blue Blacker fired wanker. Was kicked out of Criminals Affair, was kicked out of everything, was kicked out of the force by Gant. Rest in peace, Gumshoe. Rip Gumfuck. It was nice knowing him. It's a shame he won't be in Ace Attorney 2 and 3, huh? So, just to kind of go through this finally, this last bit of evidence here. So we know that Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were investigating Joe Dark. I think the lights went out after he ran in here. Damon Gant went in here. The pot was in here. He grabbed the pot, hit it over Joe Dark's head. He went down. Emma was already unconscious at the time. And then he used the switchblade, stabbed Neil. Neil died from that wound. And then during during that entire situation, Damon Gant grabbed a piece of fabric, placed it on Emma's hands to get her fingerprints, and then placed it on the murder weapon. Or not a murder weapon, but something, at least something involved in that case that would incriminate her towards the entire thing, I think. No, but yeah, he's dead. And yeah, chat, that is it for the episode today, I think. I don't think we're going to start the case because it is quite close to where I would usually end the stream. And we can go for a shorter one today before the two next ones, which are probably going to be a little bit longer, because even though like we've only got the courtroom left, I think the next part of the case is going to be quite long. Just getting everything concluded. I think my only real complaint with the case 5 so far, episode 5 so far, is how long-winded it feels in some spots. Like, I don't hate Jake Marshall or Angel Star's storylines, and they are needed to, lead to this conclusion. But I do think there could be a little bit cut off some of this stuff, just to kind of streamline it a little bit. Because being in the courtroom the entire session, I mean, look at these notes, chat. I feel like I can barely touch this now, considering how much we've got. But I think we'll find out more as we go along, hopefully, and finally wrap things up nicely at the beginning of the next trial. Or not probably not next stream, probably the stream after that. But I'm definitely going to call the next episode Chase Off the Demons. In fact, I'm going to do that now, just so I remember. Episode 15. Chase Off the Demons. I'm going to pronounce it as Damons, not Demons, because it's clever. No. Okay, right. We're going to end the episode, chat, by rolling the wheel one more time for the quick harvest.